All right. Well, I am so excited to get to talk with you guys tonight about back to the basics Facebook posting. And Kendall and I, who Kendall is another Emerald ambassador on the team, we just wanted to go over some tips for you so that your Facebook posting is done well, because it's one of the greatest marketing tools that we have, and it's free. So, if it's here available to us, we might as well use it wisely. So there are a couple things that I wanted to go over that I see some people do really well, and I know some people struggle with. They're still learning, just finding their groove on Facebook. And so I wanted to go over some tips with you so that you can use Facebook to the best you can to help your business grow. So the first one is being consistent. You have to be consistent on Facebook. There are, so many people who think, I can just post, here and there once 1 week, maybe wait 2 weeks and post again. And people are just going to come to me. They're going to know I do Plexus. They're going to come to me and I'm going to find success with it. And that is not the case whatsoever. You have to be consistent. I've been doing this for almost 2 years now, and I still get new people who approach me about Plexus because of posts they've seen. And I'm posting, different times during the day, but I make sure I do it, pretty much every single day, because you never know what post is going to reach somebody, what post is really going to resonate with someone that they think, oh my gosh, I do need Plexus in my life. So make sure you're doing it consistently. This doesn't, starting off, maybe you're not comfortable posting every single day, and that's okay. But choose something you can be consistent with. So if that is, 2 times a week, then make sure you're posting 2 times every single week. But I really encourage people to work up to that daily posting, because the people who do it daily are the ones that I find have the most success with Plexus. So if you are sitting there and you are struggling in your business, the first thing you need to ask yourself is, am I posting about my Plexus business every single day on Facebook? And we'll go over some tips on it. I don't want you to think that you have to be in people's faces every single day about Plexus. There are great ways that you can really incorporate it into what you're already doing. But, just putting it out there, reminding people, because when your friend Sally wants to, do something with her health, she may not remember that it was you posting about Plexus last week. So if you're posting every single day, she's going to know to go to you. So be consistent. Another thing I wanted to hit on is compliance. And I don't want to go into great depth about compliance because, compliance really isn't my thing, my passion. But I do want to hit on some important parts for you so that you are posting in a compliant kind of way. So the first one is something that they just, released to us and shared with us. And that is that we need to submit our before and afters to compliance before we can post them on Facebook. So we're not supposed to be posting any before and afters that have to do with Plexus. So if you lost 20 pounds and you took a before picture and you have a now picture, that is wonderful. That's a great thing you can share with some of your friends and your family. But posting it on Facebook, you need to get that approved by compliance before you do that. And there is an email you can send it in, and then they'll email you back to let you know if it's been approved or not. And there's tons of before and after pictures out there from before this rule went into place. Don't post them. You do not want to get flagged for these things on your Facebook and then have to go through and delete all these things on your Facebook page. I'm assuming that the ones that are approved will have a compliance code in them. So if there's a compliance code on a before and after, feel free to use it, run with it. Use compliance approved graphics. Now, I will say I'm not a fan of graphics, so I never really run into this problem because I just don't use them. But if you're a graphics person and you're using a Plexus graphic, make sure there is a code on there. And they'll have, it's a code of letters and numbers, and that's how you know it is compliance approved. Plexus Power Tools has a list of graphics you can use. I know there was some issues a while back where not all of them were compliance approved. So always double check yourself Even if you see a friend use it on their Plexus post, don't just automatically assume that it's compliant. I see people do that all the time. Well, so-and-so posted it, so I'm going to use it on mine. And always check for yourself because you're responsible for what you post. So always make sure it has that code in there. Don't post about children. If there's a testimonial about so-and-so's child who got help with their ADHD, do not post this on Facebook. We're not supposed to be marketing towards children other than the X Factor Family Chewables. If I have a personal story with my own kid where he's using the body cream and it's helping, I feel comfortable posting about that. But, I would never, if Kendall posted about her daughter using the cream, I won't use it on mine because, it's not my personal experience with my own kids. So don't post about children. Never post about children. And, like I said, their ADHD was helped with a Slim or something like that. So don't do that. You can't mention specific diagnoses or, clinical terms. So, for me, I struggled with migraines prior to starting Plexus. But I can't say now that, I struggled with my migraines. What I can say is that I struggled with constant headaches. It made my head pound, my eyes water. I was sensitive to light. So I can describe it. And so that anyone who's reading it is going to be like, you're talking about a migraine here. But I cannot say that. So stay away from those clinical type terms and think of ways that you can describe it. And we had a post probably last week sometime or something where, I listed some illnesses or a diagnosis and then had people kind of use words you could describe it in a way that was compliant. So you can look for that as well. But make sure if you're using testimonials that they're not mentioning those things in it either. I mean, before these rules kind of came into place, we were sharing testimonials about migraines, about depression, about all these things. And so those things are no longer compliant. So don't be using those, that you see floating around out there. You really use your own discretion. There are disclosure statements that are available that you can use for health testimonials and then financial testimonials as well that you can put when you do post those. More on the financial side, you can never post, how much you make. So let's say I made $250 in 1 month. I can't say, hey, I made $250. I can't take a picture of my check. And so everyone can see that I made $250. I might say something like, I was able to buy, 30 dinners out with my paycheck this month. You can describe it in other ways, but you can't say directly how much you make. That's not okay. In private conversation, if you feel comfortable sharing it with someone, you can share it with, a potential or a friend or something, and then, disclose that, this may not be typical, the disclosure statement. You also cannot post about specials anymore. And I know this is hard because I know our team use specials a lot and we use it to entice people and to get them interested in what we have to offer. But we are no longer able to post about specials. You can't post that you're offering $5 off the joining fee. You can't post, if you let me post on your wall, I will give you a ProBio 5. Anything where they're getting something in return, you can't post about. You can't post about any dollars off. So I know that a lot of people were bummed when this rule came out, but think of it as really, an advantage that we get to now, we're encouraged now to focus more on personal relationships and messaging people and, getting them on the phone or getting them in person so we can share these specials with them. So don't post any specials on your wall, not allowed. I know some newer people may have, they may have joined because they saw a special post on someone else's wall, and so they may not be aware that we can't do this anymore. So no specials. So in regards to compliance, that's what I wanted to go over in that area. I wanted to talk about sharing, not selling. We are shares people, not sales people. If you are just on Facebook selling Plexus, people are going to unfollow you and they're going to block you or unfriend you, because no one wants to be sold something all the time. But if you are sharing about what Plexus is doing in your life, if you're sharing about, how it is changing your life, people are going to be attracted to that. So I really try to make the majority of my posts very personal about myself, the blessings I've received financially, or how much I believe in this company, or the products, how they're changing my life. And so, it causes you to be a little bit creative to see how you can incorporate it into your day and into your life. But it comes across so much better to people than if you're just posting, graphics all the time, because those seem really salesy. I mean, think about it.
I didn't figure out the one tap thing, but I got into the call.
Oh, Sam, gotta mute you out. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah. So I encourage you to stay away from graphics, because when I am scrolling through my Facebook and I see Plexus people using graphics, I just scroll right on past them. And if I'm doing that and I love Plexus, just think about what your potentials are doing. They're scrolling posts past those posts as well. So try to stay away from them as much as possible and be as personal as possible. And then one more thing I wanted to talk on is Facebook follow-up. If someone is commenting on your post, what is Plexus, or they want more information, make sure you're following up with them. Send them a message, start that conversation. If someone is liking your statuses, send them a message. Say, thank you so much for showing support on my status. Like, are you interested in learning more about Plexus? I'd love to share it with you. And I've gotten people who have liked my status that haven't necessarily reached out or commented, that we've been able to open up that dialogue about Plexus because I reached out to them because they liked it. So I see a lot of people who don't message people who like their statuses, and you're missing out on a whole group of people who are already expressing some sort of interest in Plexus. So that is what I wanted to go over, and I know Kendall has a couple things she's going to go over as well.
Okay, well, I'm super excited about this, and I think Facebook posting is just key, and I think one of the big things is making sure that you use your Facebook for non-Plexus things as well. Can you all hear any feedback in the background? Can you? Okay, hold on just a second. Sorry.
Fine.
Sorry. Yeah, turn it to 0. Thank you. Sorry. I'm at my brother and sister-in-laws and my nephew's in here with me. So, I think making your Facebook have other things besides just Plexus is so important. I know when I started, I never really posted on Facebook at all. And so if I was to overwhelm my friends with all Plexus, then they're not going to pay any attention to what I'm doing, because that's not going to pull them in. So you want to make sure you're adding things of your kids, things of your family, stuff you're out doing, other fun things that are going to pull them in. Also ask engaging questions. I love doing this a lot. Honestly, even if you know the answer to it already, you can ask something. So like, what's a great movie for date night? If you know something that you think you're already going to see, awesome. But if you all are going on a date night, ask the question. You'll get lots of responses. People will share lots of things with you. I think Megan did one once on like diapers and what was the best kind of diapers to use at night. And I think she had like, I don't know, 50 or 60 comments on a diaper post. So I know I do some like, we're going on vacation, what's a good place to eat or whatever. But just different things like that that are going to pull people in to comment and post on your wall. Because if they're engaging on your Facebook page, then that's going to get them seeing your Plexus posts as well. So you want as many people engaging on your page. And then be positive. I think this is one of the number one things, and people always ask me, you know, I'm not getting any luck with my Facebook page. Would you care to go look at it? And a lot of times the reason they're not is because everything else is very negative. So you want to remain positive. I'm not telling you to not be yourself. But if you and your husband got in a fight that night, just don't put that on Facebook. If you've had the worst day possible, hold on just a second. So sorry, Riker, please be quiet. If you all, if you went and had like the worst day ever, I wouldn't go and rant about it on Facebook and make it really negative and add those cuss words in there and stuff like that. That really turns people away. Once again, I'm not saying don't be yourself. And if you have like a quirky side or whatever, or I know some people said I have this quirky side and that's just kind of me. Okay. But don't just go share the negative all the time. If you keep it more positive, more uplifting, more people are going to follow you and be like, Megan's a really positive person. She has a really great energy. She's always excited, having fun. That's the type of person I want to join instead of somebody who's being negative. And then be supportive of your friends, other Plexus people. Comment on their posts, like their posts, because then in return, they're going to come back and do that on yours. And so we really want to help each other. I know this is like one of the biggest things that can, get a potential to look at your page is they're seeing other Plexus people comment and like and, share about their journey on your posts. And I've had lots of people tell me, I know who Megan is. She's always commenting on your stuff. Like they recognize people's names and like they're like, we know that she really likes it. And like I've had people join because they're like, well, I've seen Megan's post comment about this or whatever. And somebody said that connected with them. So you never know, like, if they could connect with something that you share on somebody's post or somebody shares on yours about their journey. And people do notice if you have that support. So you need to share that support with others so that in return, others will share that with you. So I really want to encourage you all to be supportive. I'm very sorry, guys. But that's all I have really, Megan. So turning it back over to you and putting it on mute.
Great. That was really entertaining and really good, Kendall. I really appreciated it. So that's kind of what we wanted to go over in regards to Facebook. So it's pretty simple. I think if you follow these things, you will see your business be taken to the next level. It's really just, learning to kind of master the social media and to use it to your advantage. So we hope to be doing these kind of back to basics calls, hopefully every month, where we'll cover a topic where a lot of people at all different levels could benefit from. But I appreciate you guys getting on tonight and have a great night.